Have you ever been in the middle of a perfectly normal conversation with him and suddenly you feel a shift in the air? It's subtle, it's quiet. If you tried to explain it to a friend, they might tell you that you're overthinking it, but you feel it in your gut. Maybe you just mentioned a new coworker who made a funny joke, or perhaps you brought up a memory involving an ex-boyfriend, innocently of course, and in that split second, the warmth in the room seems to evaporate. You look at him searching for a sign. You expect him to say something, maybe ask a question or even look annoyed, but he doesn't. He looks fine. His face is calm. His voice is steady. If you ask him, is everything okay? He might even smile, a tight, quick smile, and say, yeah, why wouldn't it be? And this is where the confusion starts. This is the moment that drives so many women into a spiral of self-doubt, because his words are telling you one thing: I am cool, I am unbothered, I am confident. But his energy is screaming something entirely different. It feels heavy, it feels distant. It feels like a wall has just come down between you and him, and you are standing on the outside wondering what you did wrong. You start to question your own reality. You think, maybe I am imagining it. Maybe I'm just projecting my own insecurities. He said he's fine, so he must be fine. I want you to take a deep breath right now and listen to me closely. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. And you are certainly not overthinking. What you are sensing is real. Women have a biologically wired intuition that is incredibly sensitive to micro shifts in emotional connection. It is an evolutionary survival mechanism. Thousands of years ago, your safety depended on your ability to read the unspoken cues of the people around you. That instinct hasn't gone away. When you feel that drop in his stomach or that sudden coldness in his tone, you are picking up on a signal that he is trying desperately to hide. You are sensing the gap between what he wants to be, the stoic, unshakable man, and what he actually is in that moment, a human being who is afraid of losing you. This gap is what I call the intuition gap. It is the distance between his mask and his true emotions. And right now, that gap is filled with jealousy. But it's not the kind of jealousy you see in movies. It's not loud. It's not throwing a glass against the wall or forbidding you from seeing your friends. That is overt toxic jealousy. And it's easy to spot. We are talking about something much more common and much more confusing: hidden jealousy. This is the silent killer of connection because it happens in the shadows. He won't admit it because he thinks admitting it makes him look weak. So he suppresses it, he swallows it down. And because he suppresses it, it leaks out in other ways that can feel confusing, cold, or even manipulative. If you don't know what you're looking for, you might feel him pulling away, and you assume he's losing interest. You might see him acting sarcastic, and you assume he's just in a bad mood. But if you misinterpret these signs, you miss the opportunity to understand what's really happening in his heart. He isn't pulling away because he doesn't care. He is pulling away because he cares too much, and he doesn't know how to process the threat he feels. In this video, we are going to close that intuition gap. We are going to validate that gut feeling you've been having. I am going to hand you the keys to decode the behavior of the stoic man. We are going to look past the "I'm fine" and read the subtitles of his soul. Because once you understand that his coldness is actually a cover for his fear of losing you, everything changes. You stop feeling anxious and you start feeling empowered. You stop wondering if he cares and you start seeing exactly how much he cares. So settle in. Let's peel back the mask. Why he hides it to understand why he hides his jealousy. We have to step away from our own perspective and step into the male mind. We have to look at the world through his eyes and, more importantly, through his evolutionary conditioning. For a woman, admitting jealousy can sometimes be seen as a sign of love or vulnerability. It's an expression of attachment. But for a man, the internal script is entirely different. In the unspoken hierarchy of male psychology, jealousy is often equated with weakness. Think about the archetype of ideal man that society has sold to him since he was a little boy. Think of James Bond. Think of the cowboys in old westerns. Think of the modern CEO. What do they all have in common? They are unshakable. They are never rattled. If a rival walks into the room, the alpha doesn't get nervous. He doesn't even blink. He assumes he is the best option. So he has nothing to fear. This is the standard your man is holding himself to. When he feels a pang of jealousy, let's say you're laughing a little too hard at another man's joke, his brain instantly categorizes that feeling as a failure. To him, feeling jealous means he is admitting deep down that the other guy might have something he doesn't. It feels like a loss of status. It feels like an admission that he isn't enough to keep you captivated on his own. So he enters what psychologists call the cool guy paradox. Here is the conflict. One part of his brain, the primal, possessive part, wants to claim you. It wants to step in, put an arm around you and signal to the world, she is with me. That is his biology screaming to protect his relationship. But the other part of his brain, the social, logical part, is terrified of looking insecure. He knows that insecurity is arguably the most unattractive trait a man can display. He fears that if he says, I don't like how you looked at him, you will view him as controlling, weak, or clingy. He fears that showing his cards will actually drive you away, so he puts on the armor. He decides that the safest option is to pretend he didn't see anything. He pretends he doesn't care. He creates a mask of indifference. This is why the signs we are about to discuss are hidden. They are the result of a man fighting a war inside his own head. He is fighting the urge to react versus the pressure to remain cool. This internal battle takes a massive amount of energy, and that is why you feel the shift we talked about in the beginning. He goes quiet not because he is bored, but because he is concentrating. He is using all his mental energy to suppress the fire in his chest so that his face remains still. Understanding this changes everything. When you realize that his silence isn't rejection, but rather a form of self-preservation, you stop taking it personally. You realize that he isn't trying to gaslight you. He is trying to protect his dignity while terrified that he might be losing his grip on your heart. He isn't hiding his jealousy because he doesn't love you. He is hiding it because he doesn't want you to see him sweat. He wants to be your rock, and he thinks rocks aren't allowed to crumble. But even the strongest rock has cracks. And if you know where to look, those cracks reveal everything. Now that we understand the why, let's look at the how. Let's look at the first group of signs, the subtle energetic shifts that happen before he ever says a word. These are the moments where the mask slips. Energetic shifts, signs 1-3, sign 5-1, the sudden silence. We are starting with the first and perhaps the most common energetic shift you will encounter. This is the sign that usually triggers that intuition gap we talked about in chapter 1. It is called the sudden silence. Let's set the scene because I know you have been here before. Imagine you are having a great day with him. Maybe you are driving in the car, the radio is playing, and the conversation is flowing easily. You are laughing, he is relaxed, and the connection feels effortless. Then the topic of conversation shifts. Maybe you casually mention a story from work involving a male colleague. Or maybe your phone lights up with a text message from a guy friend and you glance at it and smile before putting it away. Suddenly, the car feels different. The laughter stops. The easy back and forth banter evaporates. You look over at him and he's just staring at the road, gripping the steering wheel a little tighter than before. You ask, "What are you thinking about?" And he gives you a one-word answer, nothing. Or maybe he just shrugs and turns up the volume on the radio. The atmosphere has transformed from sunny to overcast in the blink of an eye. This is the sudden silence. Now, here's where most women misinterpret this behavior. When a woman goes silent, it is often a form of communication. It can be a way of saying, I am hurt and I need you to ask me what's wrong. It can be a test of empathy. But when a man goes silent in the face of jealousy, it is rarely a test. It is a containment strategy. You have to understand that for men, the emotion jealousy feels like a chaotic internal storm. It is a mixture of anger, fear, insecurity, and competitiveness all blended in a toxic cocktail. If he were to open his mouth in that exact moment, he doesn't know what would come out. He is afraid he might say something petty. He is afraid he might sound controlling. He is afraid he might reveal just how threatened he feels by this mark from accounting you just mentioned. So he retreats into the cave. This silence is not him losing interest in you. In fact, it is the exact opposite. It is him processing a surge of hyper interest that he doesn't know how to handle. He is running a simulation in his mind. He is replaying what you said. Why did she smile when she talked about him? Does she think he's funny? Is he funnier than me? Does she have a history with him? His brain is spiraling, but his exterior has gone dead silent to prevent you from seeing the spiral. But how do you tell the difference between this jealousy silence and him just being tired, bored, or distracted? Because men do get quiet when they are tired, right? The key is to look for the tension in the silence. When a man is tired or bored, his energy is loose, his shoulders are dropped, his face is slack, and his silence feels empty. It's a nothing silence. You can sit in it and feel relaxed. But when a man is jealous, the silence is loud. It feels heavy. It feels charged. If you look at his body, you will see micro tension. His jaw might be set tight. He might be tapping his foot. He might be staring at the television or his phone with an intensity that doesn't match what he's looking at. He isn't actually watching the TV. He is staring through it while his mind obsesses over the threat. Another way to test this theory is to change the subject back to something completely neutral or something that centers on him. If he is just tired, he will remain low energy. But if he is jealous, he might stay short with you. He might give you one-word answers even to innocent questions like, do you want pizza for dinner? Why? Because his brain is stuck. He hasn't processed the threat yet, so he can't switch gears back to happy boyfriend mode. He is stuck in the buffer zone. This withdrawal is a defense mechanism. He is pulling his energy away from you because he feels like you just gave your energy to someone else, even if you didn't. It's a subconscious way of evening the score. He thinks, if she is focused on that guy, I won't give her my attention right now. It's childish, yes, but it is deeply human. So the next time the room goes cold immediately after you mention another male, do not panic. Do not assume he hates you. recognize it for what it is. He has just taken a hit to his ego, and he is trying to walk it off in silence. He is withdrawing not to leave you, but to protect himself from looking weak in front of you. He is processing his fear of losing you in the only safe place he knows, inside his own head. Sign funny too, the too cool, overcorrection. If the first sign was about him shutting down, this second sign is about him performing a little too much. This is the too cool, overcorrection. This is one of the trickiest signs to spot because on the surface, it looks like he is being the perfect, supportive, confident partner. But if you tune into your intuition, something about it feels fake. It feels scripted. Let's say you tell him, hey, I'm going out for drinks with the girls on Friday, and I think some of their guy friends are coming too. A normal, secure reaction would be something like, oh, cool, have fun. Just let me know when you get home. It's casual, it's effortless. But the too cool, overcorrection looks different. Hey, that's awesome. You should definitely go. Go have a blast. Stay as late as you want. Seriously, don't worry about me at all. Do you hear the difference? It's the exclamation points. It's the extra energy. It is an enthusiastic push that feels disproportionate to the situation. Why does he do this? This is a psychological concept called reaction formation. It's a defense mechanism where a person behaves in the exact opposite way of how they truly feel in order to hide their true emotion. Deep down, he is thinking, I hate that guys are going to be there. I am worried one of them will hit on you. I want to be there to protect my territory. But he knows he can't say that. If he says that, he looks possessive. He looks insecure. So to prove to himself that he is the cool, confident alpha male, he swings the pendulum all the way to the other side. He acts overly permissive. He wants to prove so badly that he isn't threatened that he accidentally acts like he doesn't care at all. This sign is often accompanied by a very specific type of smile. I call it the customer service smile. It's a smile that engages the mouth but doesn't reach the eyes. He's showing you his teeth. He's nodding. He's saying all the right supportive boyfriend words, but his eyes look flat. They look detached. That is the mask at work. You might also notice this behavior when you are actually out at the event. Let's say you are at a party and a guy comes up to talk to you. Your partner sees this. Instead of coming over or just relaxing, he might make a point to turn his back to you and start laughing loudly with his friends. He might pull out his phone and look incredibly engrossed in a text message. He is putting on a performance of indifference. He is signaling, I see you talking to him and look at me. I don't care. I am so busy having my own fun that I haven't even noticed. But here is the tell. The crack in the mask. Watch what happens when you try to reconnect with him. If he was truly secure and having fun, he would welcome you back easily. But if he is in the too cool overcorrection, he might be dismissive when you return. You walk up to him after talking to that guy and suddenly he's busy. He checks his watch. He says, oh, are you done talking to your friend? With a tone that is just a little too breezy, a little too sharp. Another variation of this is the texting blackout. You go out for your girls' night where guys are present. He told you have a great time. Don't worry about texting me. So you go out and true to his word, he doesn't text you. Not once, 6 hours. This feels weird, right? Usually he sends a meme or asks how the food is. But tonight, radio silence. This is the passive-aggressive side of the overcorrection. He is struggling so much with the image of you being around other men that he has to cut off contact completely to manage his anxiety. He is sitting at home checking his phone every 3 minutes, seeing that you haven't texted and telling himself, I'm not going to text her first, I'm the prize. I'm not chasing her while she's out. He is using silence as a shield to prove his independence. So if his supportiveness feels frantic or his indifference feels rehearsed, trust that instinct. Indifference is often just the costume that insecurity wears to a party. The man who truly doesn't care doesn't have to act like he doesn't care. Sign hand 3, the interrogation disguised as curiosity. We move now to the third energetic shift, and this one involves his words. It's what I call the interrogation disguised as curiosity. In a healthy relationship, curiosity is beautiful. Your partner asks about your day because he cares about your experience. He wants to connect with you. But when jealousy is in the driver's seat, the goal of the questions changes. He isn't asking to connect. He is asking to collect data. He is doing a risk assessment. Let's paint the picture. You come home from a work happy hour or a gym class or a coffee catch up with an old friend. You walk through the door, kick off your shoes and sit down. He asks, how was it? You say, I was good. Then comes the shift. He asks, so who all was there? You list a few names. He pauses. Was that guy, what's his name? Dave. Was Dave there? You say, yeah. He stopped by for a bit. He nods slowly. Did you guys get a chance to talk? Do you feel the difference? This isn't casual conversation. This is a fishing expedition. He is looking for specific details that will either confirm or deny his fears. He is trying to build a mental picture of exactly how close you were to any potential rivals. The key to spotting this sign is specificity. A secure partner asks general questions. Did you have fun? How is Sarah doing? Was the food good? These questions focus on your joy and your experience. A jealous partner asks specific logistical questions about other men. Where did you guys sit? Did he drive you? What did he say about that? How late did he stay? He is listening for inconsistencies. He is analyzing your tone. When you mention the other man's name, do you sound excited? Do you sound impressed? Or do you sound annoyed? He is desperate for you to sound annoyed. In fact, this leads us to the validation trap. During this interrogation, he is often subconsciously waiting for you to validate that he is better than the rival. He might ask a leading question like, I bet Dave just talked about himself the whole time, didn't he? He is teeing you up. He wants you to roll your eyes and say, oh my God, yes, he was so annoying. If you do that, watch his body language. He will instantly relax. His shoulders will drop. He might even laugh and change the subject. Why? Because the threat has been neutralized. You have confirmed that the rival is low status in your eyes, so he is safe. But if you answer differently, if you say, actually, Dave was really funny, he told this great story, or watch him freeze, the interrogation will intensify, or he will abruptly end the conversation, looping back to sign I1, the sudden silencer. Another version of this is the casual drop in. Maybe you are talking about something completely unrelated, let's say planning your weekend, and out of nowhere, he brings up a name from 3 weeks ago. Are we going to that restaurant? Is that the place your friend Mike recommended? You might be thinking, why is he bringing up Mike? That was weeks ago. He brings it up because he hasn't forgotten. His brain has bookmarked Mike as a threat and he is testing the waters. He wants to see if you react to the name. He wants to see if you are still taking recommendations from him. It's important to note the tone here. Usually this interrogation is delivered in a voice that sounds frighteningly casual. He might be looking at his phone while he asks. He might be chopping vegetables. He tries to make the questions sound like throwaway comments. Oh, is Mark still working there? But if you look at his eyes, they are sharp, they are focused on you, waiting for the answer. This behavior can feel exhausting for you. You might feel like you are on trial or like you have to defend yourself when you haven't done anything wrong. You feel the need to downplay your interactions just to keep the peace. But understanding why he does it helps you navigate it. He isn't trying to control your every move, hopefully, unless it's toxic. In the context of hidden jealousy, he is trying to soothe his own anxiety. He is looking for evidence that he is safe. He feels like there is a competition happening that you might not even be aware of, and he is trying to figure out the score. He is asking, am I still number one, or is this other guy gaining ground? The interrogation is his clumsy, anxiety-ridden way of asking for reassurance without actually having to be vulnerable enough to say, I'm worried you might like him more than me. These first three signs, the silence, the overcorrection, and the interrogation, are all about energy. They are the shifts in the vibration of the relationship. But as we move into the next chapter, we are going to look at the physical realm. We are going to look at how his body moves, how he stands, and how he touches you when the green-eyed monster wakes up. Because even if his words are calm, his body never lies. Physical and territorial tells a signs 4-6, sign 24, a shadow effect. We are moving now from the energetic realm into the physical realm. The signs we discussed in the last chapter were things you feel. The signs in this chapter are things you can see. These are the movements, the placements, and the physical instincts that take over a man's body when his territorial alarm bells start ringing. The first of these physical signs is what I call the shadow effect. To understand this, we have to look at the primal function of jealousy. At its core, jealousy is a mate guarding strategy in the animal kingdom, and indeed in human psychology. When a male perceives a threat to his relationship, his primary instinct is to block access. He wants to create a physical barrier between you, his partner, and the potential rival. But because we live in a civilized society, he can't just stand in front of you with a spear. So he does the modern, socially acceptable equivalent. He becomes your shadow. Let's visualize the scenario. You are at a social gathering. Maybe it's a house party, a work mixer, or a wedding reception. It's a room full of people. Normally, in a secure environment, a couple will drift apart at a party. You might go grab a drink at the bar and he might get caught up talking about sports or business in the kitchen. You might be separated by 20 or 30 feet. He is comfortable with this distance because he feels safe. He knows you are going home with him. But watch what happens when a threat enters the room. Let's say you are standing by the snack table and a man approaches you. Maybe it's a guy who is just a little too charming, or perhaps it's someone you have a history with. You start talking. Suddenly, without you calling him, without you waving him over, your partner appears. He doesn't necessarily interrupt the conversation. He doesn't necessarily say anything aggressive. He just drifts into your orbit. He might stand slightly behind you. He might lean against the wall just a few feet away, sipping his drink, ostensibly looking at his phone, but his body is angled directly toward you. This is the shadow effect. He has subconsciously closed the distance. He has reduced the threat radius. By standing close to you, he is sending a non-verbal signal to the other man. He is saying, she is not alone. She is accounted for. I am right here. You will notice this even more if you try to move. Let's say you and this other guy walk toward the patio outside. Watch how quickly your partner finds a reason to also go to the patio. He might say, oh, it was getting too loud inside, or I just needed some fresh air. He is shadowing your movement. Now, it is crucial to distinguish this from clinginess. A clingy man shadows you because he is dependent on you. He doesn't know how to socialize without you. He is shadowing you out of his own social anxiety. But the jealous shadow is different. You can tell the difference by looking at his focus. A clingy man is focused on you. He is looking at you, pleading for attention. A jealous man in shadow mode is not looking at you. He is scanning the room. He is looking at the rival. He is standing guard. There is a fascinating biological component to this. When a man feels territorial jealousy, his spatial awareness expands. He becomes hyper aware of where you are in the room at all times. Even if his back is turned to you, he knows exactly where you are standing. If he sees a male figure moving into your personal space, his shadow instinct triggers and he gravitates toward you automatically. He might not even realize he is doing it. I have spoken to men who say, I just felt like I should go stand by her. They rationalize it as just wanting to be near you. But the timing tells the real story. He only just wanted to be near you the moment another man started making you laugh. This proximity is his way of interfering with the connection you are building with someone else. If he is standing right there, the other guy can't flirt with you as openly. The other guy can't ask for your number. The presence of the shadow forces the interaction to remain platonic. So if you notice that he is suddenly glued to your hip whenever you are in mixed company, or if he always seems to pop up the moment a conversation with another man gets interesting, do not be annoyed. Do not think he is trying to suffocate you. Recognize the instinct. He is trying to protect his bond with you. He is physically blocking the path of any potential intruders. He is casting his shadow over you to make sure everyone else knows you are standing in his light. Sign 25, the claiming, touch, public, displayed. If the shadow effect is about where he stands, this next sign is about what he does with his hands. Touch is a language, and just like spoken language, the meaning of a touch changes depending on the context. There is an affectionate touch, holding hands while watching a movie. There is sexual touch. And then there is territorial touch. Territorial touch is specifically designed to signal ownership. It is a biological billboard that says taken. You will often see a dramatic shift in a man's physical affection when hidden jealousy is triggered. This is especially noticeable in men who are not usually very touchy-feely in public. Let's say your partner is usually a bit reserved. He's not the type to make out with you in front of his friends. He walks next to you, maybe brushes your arm, but he keeps things low-key. Now, introduce the rival. Introduce the guy who is staring at you a little too long, or the coworker who is being a little too friendly. Suddenly, your partner's hands become very active. The most common version of this is the lower back guide. You are standing in a group and the rival is talking. Your partner steps in and places his hand firmly on the small of your back. He might even splay his fingers out, covering as much surface area as possible. This is a power move. The lower back is a vulnerable, intimate zone. By placing his hand there, he is demonstrating that he has access to your body in a way that the other man does not. He is guiding you. He is physically connecting himself to you. Another variation is the shoulder squeeze or the drape. He might drape his arm around your shoulders and pull you slightly into him. It's a pulling motion. He is physically closing the gap, merging your silhouette with his. But here is the key to identifying this as jealousy and not just love. Look at his eyes while he is touching you. When a man touches you out of pure affection, he looks at you, he smiles at you. The moment is about the two of you. When a man touches you out of territorial jealousy, the claiming touch, he often isn't looking at you at all. He is looking at the other guy. He puts his arm around you, pulls you close, and locks eyes with the rival. He is waiting for the other guy to see the touch. He wants the rival to register the hand on your waist. It is a silent communication between men. He is checking to see if the rival respects the boundary he just physically established. It's almost a challenge. I am holding her. Do you see this? Back off. You might also notice the interrupting touch. This happens when you are deep in conversation with another man. Maybe you are laughing, leaning in, having a great time. Your partner might walk up and brush a piece of hair behind your ear, or squeeze your hand or touch your cheek. On the surface, it's sweet. But functionally, it breaks your focus. It forces you to break eye contact with the other guy and look at your partner. It interrupts the flow of energy between you and the rival. It reminds you and the rival of who you go home with. This behavior can sometimes feel confusing to women. You might think, why is he all over me right now? He never acts like this at the grocery store. You might even feel like he's showing off. And in a way, he is. He is performing ownership, but it's important to see the vulnerability underneath the performance. He is doing this because he feels threatened. He feels like your attention is slipping away or that someone else is encroaching on his territory. The touch is his way of grounding the reality of the relationship. He is literally holding on to you because he is afraid of letting go. So pay attention to the timing of his affection. Does he reach for your hand specifically when you walk past a group of attractive men? Does he pull you closer when you mention you're going to the gym? If his touch becomes heavier, more frequent, or more guiding in these moments, he is engaging in the claiming touch. He is marking his territory in the most primal way he knows how. He is using his body to say what his pride won't let his mouth say. You are mine, and I need everyone here to know it. Senheit 6, the competitive peacock, sudden self-improvement, we have talked about how he acts toward you and how he acts toward the rival. Now let's talk about how he acts toward himself. This is one of the most overlooked signs of hidden jealousy because it looks like a positive life change. It is sign phase 60, the competitive peacock. In nature, competition drives evolution. When a male animal feels like he might be out-competed for a mate, he doesn't just sit there and sulk. He tries to become better. He tries to become brighter, louder, stronger. Peacocks, men do the exact same thing. If your partner is secretly jealous, if he feels like there are other men circling you who might be better options, his instinctive reaction is often to upgrade his own status. He wants to re-establish his value in your eyes. You might notice this as a sudden, unexplained burst of self-improvement. Let's say you have been mentioning a male friend who is really into fitness. He runs marathons. He hits the gym. He's in great shape. You mention this casually. A week later, your partner, who usually prefers video games and pizza, suddenly buys a gym membership. He starts drinking protein shakes. He starts looking at himself in the mirror more often. He starts talking about getting back in shape. He won't tell you, I'm doing this because I'm jealous of your marathon runner friend. He will say, I just want to get healthy, but the timing is the tell. Or maybe the rival is successful in business. Maybe you have a boss who is crushing it and you talk about how ambitious he is. Suddenly, your partner is working late. He is talking about his own career goals. He comes home and makes a big deal about a project he finished. I really led the team today, babe. I crushed it. He is trying to highlight his own competence. He is trying to remind you that he is a winner too. This can even manifest in his appearance. Has he suddenly started dressing better? Did he buy new cologne? Did he shave that beard you've been complaining about for months? When a man feels secure and comfortable, sometimes too comfortable, he lets himself go a little. He stops trying to impress you because he thinks he already has you. But when jealousy strikes, when he fears that he has to compete for your attention again, the effort comes roaring back. He is trying to alpha the competition. This is actually a very positive form of jealousy if you think about it. Instead of becoming toxic or controlling, he is channeling that insecure energy into making himself a better man for you. He is trying to increase his market value so that you don't look elsewhere, but he will likely hide the motivation. If you ask, why are you dressing up so much lately? He might get defensive. I just felt like it. Kind of guy looked nice. He denies it because admitting it would mean admitting that he feels threatened. It would mean admitting that he thinks you could do better and he is scrambling to catch up. You might also see this in the form of one-upping. If you mention that a coworker tells great jokes, suddenly your partner tries harder to be funny. If you mention a guy who knows a lot about wine, suddenly your partner is buying a vintage bottle and reading the label to you. He is essentially saying, a thing he can do, I can do better. Please notice me. Please choose me again. This sign is particularly poignant because it shows how much he values your opinion. A man who doesn't care about losing you doesn't bother to improve. He doesn't bother to put on the show. The fact that he is willing to change his habits, put in the effort, and try to impress you all over again is a massive sign of hidden jealousy. It's his way of fighting for you. He isn't fighting with fists, he is fighting with merit. He wants to be the best option in your world so that the idea of the guy becomes laughable. So if you notice a sudden glow up in your man or a sudden ambition that seems to correlate with a new male figure in your life, recognize it. He is peacocking. He is spreading his feathers, terrified that you might stop looking at him. So he is making himself impossible to ignore. It is a silent plea for your admiration, driven by the fear that he might be slipping from his pedestal. Verbal and digital warfare, sign 7-9, sign phase 7, the Joker. With a bite, we have explored the energy in the room, and we have analyzed the physical movements of his body. Now, we enter the arena of words, but we aren't talking about direct arguments or honest confessions. We are talking about the most sophisticated shield a man has in his arsenal, humor. Sign phase 7 is the jokey with a bite. This is the art of sarcasm, and it is the preferred weapon of the stoic man who is trying to hide his jealousy. Here is the psychological reality. When a man feels jealous, he feels an urge to attack the rival. He wants to devalue the other man. He wants to knock him down a peg to prove that he, your partner, is superior. But he knows that if he just starts trash talking Dave from the gym out of nowhere, He will look petty. He will look like a hater, and worse, he might make you defend Dave, which is his ultimate nightmare. So he packages his aggression inside a joke. Humor provides him with plausible deniability. It is the perfect escape hatch. If he says something mean and you get offended, he can instantly retreat behind the universal shield. Whoa, relax. I was just kidding. I didn't mean it, but let's be real, he meant it. As Freed famously said, there is no such thing as a joke. Every joke has a kernel of truth hidden inside it. How does this sound in real life? Let's say you come home and tell him about a male coworker who gave a presentation. You say, Mark had some really good ideas today about the project. A jealous partner might chuckle, shake his head, and say, yeah, I bet Mark has lots of ideas. Did he actually do any work? Or did he just talk for an hour? It's delivered with a smile. It's light. But listen to the subtext. He is attacking Mark's competence. He is implying that Mark is all talk. He is trying to plant a seed of doubt in your mind about this other man's value. Or let's say you are getting dressed up to go out. You look stunning. You ask him, how do I look? He looks at you and the fear of other men staring at you hits him hard. Instead of just saying, you look beautiful, he might say, wow, trying to break some hearts tonight. Better bring a stick to beat the guys off. He frames it as a compliment. He is acknowledging you look good, but the joke highlights his anxiety. He is explicitly mentioning other men pursuing you. He is verbalizing the scenario he is afraid of, but he laughs it off to make it seem like he is cool with it. The bite becomes even sharper when the rival is someone specific. If you have a friend named Jason who is handy with cars and you mention that your check engine light is on, your partner might sneer and say, why don't you ask Jason to look at it? I'm sure he'd love to get his hands dirty for you. The tone is dripping with acid. He is mocking the dynamic. He is pointing out that Jason likely has a crush on you, and he is mocking you for potentially relying on another man. The key to identifying this sign is the frequency and the target. Does he make these kinds of jokes about everyone? Is he just a sarcastic person in general? If so, it might just be his personality. But if the jokes are laser, focused on one specific guy or one specific category of men, like your gym trainers or your male colleagues, that is a red flag for hidden jealousy. Pay attention to the caricature effect. A jealous man will often turn the rival into a caricature to make him seem ridiculous. If the rival is really fit, your partner might make jokes about meatheads who spend all day looking in the mirror. If the rival is sensitive and listens to you, your partner might make jokes about soft guys who act like therapists. If the rival is wealthy, your partner might make jokes about rich kids who never had to work for anything. He is trying to take the trait that makes the rival threatening: strength, empathy, money, and twist it until it looks like a flaw. He wants you to laugh at the rival. Because if you are laughing at him, you can't be sleeping with him. That is the logic. This behavior can be incredibly frustrating for you. It ruins the mood. It makes you feel like you can't mention anyone without getting a snarky comment in return. You might feel like you are constantly walking on eggshells. But when you hear that bite in his joke, try to hear the insecurity underneath it. He is trying to level the playing field. He feels small in comparison to this other person, so he is using words to cut the other person down to size. The next time he makes a sarcastic comment about a guy, don't just brush it off. Look at him, hold his gaze. You don't even have to say anything. Just the fact that you don't laugh, that you don't validate the joke, will send a powerful message. It tells him that his passive aggression isn't working. It forces him to either drop the act or be honest about what he's feeling. Sarcasm is the armor of a man who is hurt but refuses to show his wounds. It is a sign that he is engaged in a mental battle with this other man, and he is using wit as his weapon because he doesn't know how to use vulnerability as his shield. Sign Fine 8, the digital hover, social media stalking. We live in a digital world, and therefore jealousy has migrated online. In the past, a jealous man had to wait until you came home to gauge your loyalty. Now, he has a 24/7 window into your life, and he can watch you from the safety of his screen. Sign Pay 8 is the digital hover. This is silent monitoring. It is the modern version of driving past your house to see if your car is there. And because he can do it without you seeing him mostly, it is one of the most common ways hidden jealousy manifests. There are 3 distinct behaviors to look for here. 1, the speed of the view, the watchtower. You post an Instagram story. It's just a picture of your coffee or maybe a selfie of your outfit. 2 minutes later, you check your views. He is at the top of the list. Now, if this happens once, it's a coincidence. He was just on his phone. But if he is always the first to view your stories, especially when you are out without him, that is not a coincidence. That is vigilance. He likely has your notifications turned on, or even more telling, he is subconsciously checking your profile repeatedly to see if you've updated. He wants to know where you are, who you are with, and what you are doing. He feels a sense of control when he sees the post. Okay, she's at the coffee shop. She's safe. I know what's happening. It soothes his anxiety too. The territorial, like marking the post, this is fascinating to observe. Let's say you post a photo where you look undeniably hot. Maybe it's a beach photo or a night out dress. You start getting likes. Random guys, male friends, coworkers, they are all double tapping. A jealous man sees these likes as digital flirtation. He sees other men approaching you in the public square. So what does he do? He throws his like into the pile, but watch when he does it. Sometimes he will wait until a few other guys have liked it, and then he will like it 7, maybe comment. His comment won't just be nice pic. It will be something that signals intimacy. He might use an inside joke. He might use specific emojis. I like the ring or the house. He might say, "Can't wait to see you later." He is pissing on the digital fire hydrant. He is making sure that any guy scrolling through the comments sees his comment and realizes, oh, she has a boyfriend. He is engaging with your content not because he loves the photo, but because he needs to stake his claim in the comment section. 3, the ghost hover, the withdrawal. This is the flip side, and it is equally telling. This connects back to sign Ali 1 to the sudden silence. Sometimes when his jealousy is triggered by a post, he will deliberately not interact with it. Let's say you post a photo with a group of friends and there are guys in the picture, or maybe you are out at a club, he sees it. You know he sees it because he's online, but he doesn't like it. He doesn't comment. He doesn't view the story. He is punishing you with his digital absence. He is thinking, if she's going to be out with those guys, I'm not going to give her the validation of my attention. He wants you to notice his absence. He wants you to check your likes, realize he isn't there, and wonder, is he mad? Did he see it? He is trying to make you anxious to counteract his own anxiety. The following analysis, there is a deeper level to this digital hover. A jealous man often becomes a detective regarding your following list. If you follow a new guy, he notices. He might click on that guy's profile. He analyzes the threat. Who is this guy? Is he a coworker? Is he an ex? Why is she following him? He might ask you casually later, who is that guy Steve who commented on your post? Again, he tries to make it sound like he was just scrolling and happened to notice. But the algorithm doesn't just show us random comments unless we are looking for them. To find that specific comment or to notice that specific new follow, he had to be looking. He is hunting for clues. This digital behavior is exhausting for him. He is constantly refreshing, constantly analyzing, constantly comparing himself to the curated highlight reels of other men on your feed. He sees a guy with bigger muscles like your photo and he feels a pang of inadequacy. He sees you laughing in a boomerang with a male colleague and he feels a pang of exclusion. If you catch him doing this, if you notice he views your stories instantly, or if he asks about random guys who like your photos, recognize it as modern anxiety. He feels like he is losing control because in the digital world, you are accessible to everyone. Anyone can DM you, anyone can heart you. His hover is his attempt to stand guard at the virtual gate. He is trying to protect you from the millions of potential suitors that live inside your phone. It's possessive, yes, but it stems from the fear that in a world of infinite options, you might swipe away from him. Sign I9, the mirror effect mentioning other women. We have reached one of the most confusing and contradictory signs of all. This is where he flips the script completely. Instead of acting threatened, he tries to make you feel threatened. This is sign by 90, the mirror effect, also known as retaliatory jealousy. This is a classic deflection tactic. The logic in his subconscious mind goes like this: I feel insecure because you are getting attention from other men. I feel like I am losing power in this relationship. To regain the power, I need to make you feel insecure too. I need to make you realize that I have options. He wants to mirror his pain onto you. He wants you to feel the pinch of jealousy so that the scales are balanced again. How does this manifest? Suddenly, and usually right after he has felt threatened, he will start mentioning other women. Let's say you just came back from a lunch with a male friend. Your partner acted cool, but you could sense the tension. An hour later, he says, oh, I ran into Jessica from marketing today. She was telling me this hilarious story. She's so funny. He emphasizes her name. He emphasizes her positive traits are funny, smart, cool. He watches you closely when he says it. He is checking for your reaction. He is desperate to see a flicker of annoyance on your face. He wants you to ask, who is Jessica, or why were you talking to her? If you get jealous, he feels relieved. Why? Because your jealousy proves that you value him. It proves that you don't want to lose him. It reassures him that he is still a catch. If you don't react, if you just say, oh, that's nice, he might ratchet it up. He might bring up an ex-girlfriend. You know, my ex used to love this band too. This is a dangerous game and it's risky. Bringing up an ex is usually a cardinal sin in a relationship. The fact that he is breaking this rule shows how desperate he is for validation. He is willing to annoy you just to get a reaction. Triangulation psychologists call this triangulation. He is bringing a third person into the dynamic to stabilize his own anxiety. He isn't actually interested in Jessica from marketing. He probably doesn't even care about his ex anymore. He is using them as props. He is trying to remind you of his market value. He feels like your market value just went up because other men are looking at you. So he has to inflate his own stock price by showing you that other women are looking at him or that he enjoys their company. This often happens in social settings too. If you are at a party and he feels ignored by you, he might start flirting with another woman right in your line of sight. He isn't trying to cheat, he is putting on a show. He will laugh a little too loudly, he will lean in a little too close. And this is the key, he will constantly glance over at you to see if you're watching. If you are watching, he continues. If you aren't watching, he usually stops because the performance has no audience. This behavior can be incredibly hurtful. It feels manipulative. It feels like he is disrespecting you, and you are right to feel that way. It is immature, but if we look at it through the lens of the hidden signs, it is a cry for help. He is saying, I feel invisible to you right now. Please look at me. Please be afraid of losing me because I am terrified of losing you. He wants to know that the bond goes both ways. He wants to know that he has the power to affect your emotions just as much as you affect the hypocrisy. Tell the biggest giveaway that this is a jealousy tactic is hypocrisy. If you mention a male coworker the way he just mentioned Jessica, he would go silent, sign funny win, but he feels entitled to do it because in his head it is defense. He is counter-attacking. If you call him out on it, why do you keep talking about her? He will likely gaslight you. I'm just talking about my day. You're being crazy. We're just friends. He uses the cool guy mask again. He acts like it's totally platonic, making you feel like the jealous one. And ironically, that is exactly what he wanted. He wanted you to become the jealous one. Because if you are the jealous one, he doesn't have to be. He can pass the hot potato of insecurity to you. So when he suddenly starts name dropping women or acting like Mr. Popularity, don't take the bait. Don't let it crumble your confidence. Recognize it as a mirror. He is reflecting his own insecurity back at you. He is trying to create a jealousy contest because he feels like he is currently losing the game. The best way to handle this isn't to get angry, but to refuse to play. If he mentions Jessica, just smile and say, she sounds great. It will confuse him. It will disarm the tactic. And eventually, he will have to drop the prop and deal with the real issue, his fear of losing you. The micro expressions and resolution, sign tenet or sign fate, tent the eye contact shift. We have arrived at the final sign. This is the graduate level course in reading body language. We have talked about silence, about sarcasm, about where he stands and what he says. But a man can control his words. He can control his posture to an extent. He can even control his breathing if he focuses hard enough. But there is one thing he cannot control. He cannot control his eyes. The eyes are the only part of the brain that is visible from the outside of the body. They react to adrenaline and cortisol, the stress hormones released during jealousy, faster than any other part of him. If you know what to look for, his eyes will confess everything his mouth is refusing to say. There are 3 specific eye movements that reveal hidden jealousy. 1, the vertical scans, sizing up the revel. Watch what happens when a new man enters your environment. Someone who looks good speaks confidently or captures your attention. Your partner will perform an involuntary vertical scan. He will look at the rival from head to toe and then back up again. It happens in a split second. Up, down. What is he doing? He is assessing the threat level. He is looking at the rival's shoes status symbol, his physical build, physical threat, and his face of genetic competition. It is a primal, reflexive data gathering moment. He is asking, can I take him? Is he better than me? A secure man might glance at a newcomer, but he won't scan him. He will look him in the eye and say, hello. The jealous man scans the body before he looks at the face. He is looking for flaws. He is looking for weaknesses. 2, the darting check, the feedback loop. This is the most telling movement of all. Let's say you are in a group conversation. The rival tells a joke. Everyone laughs, including you. In that exact moment, while the laughter is still happening, watch your partner's eyes. He will not be looking at the person who told the joke. He will be looking at you. His eyes will dart to your face. He is checking your reaction intensity. Is she laughing too hard? Is she glowing? Is she looking at that guy with admiration? He needs to know how much the rival is affecting you. If he catches you looking at the rival with sparkly eyes, watch his own eyes narrow, the eyelids droop slightly. This is the predator squint. It's a sign of focus and aggression. He is zoning in on the problem, but if you catch him looking at you, watch how fast he looks away. He will snap his head back to his phone or look at the wall. He doesn't want to be caught checking on you. The speed of the look away is directly proportional to how jealous he feels. A slow look away means he's just observing. A snap look away means he's hiding. 3, avoidance gaze. The shame spiral, sometimes jealousy doesn't look like aggression, it looks like shame. If he feels truly threatened, if he feels like he simply cannot compete with the guy you are talking to, he might simply refuse to make eye contact with you at all. You might try to catch his eye across the room to smile at him, to reassure him, but he won't look at you. He keeps his gaze strictly on the floor or on his drink. He is blocking the visual input. Seeing you happy with someone else hurts him, so he literally turns off the video feed. This is a heartbreaking sign. It means his self-esteem has taken a hit. He feels small. He feels invisible. And he is afraid that if he looks at you, you will see the pain in his eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. but they are also the window to the ego. When the ego is bruised, the eyes shift. They become restless, scanning for threats, or they become evasive, hiding from the truth. If you see him scanning the competition like a bouncer at a club, or checking your face every time you laugh, you don't need to ask him if he's jealous. His biology has already answered the question for you. He is on high alert. He is guarding his most precious connection, how to handle his hidden jealousy. So you have the data, you have spotted the signs. You noticed the sudden silence. You saw the shadow effect. You caught the vertical scan. Without a shadow of a doubt that he is jealous. Now comes the most important question. What do you do with this power? Because it is power. Knowing he is jealous means knowing he values you. It means you have leverage. But how you use that leverage determines whether your relationship becomes toxic or deepens into something unbreakable. Most women make one of two mistakes here. Mistake A1, they get angry. Why are you being so weird? Stop acting like a child. This shames him and makes him put the mask on tighter. Mistake V2, they shrink. They stop wearing nice dresses. They stop talking to their friends. They make themselves smaller to make him feel bigger. Do not do either of these. Instead, I want you to use a strategy I call reassurance without submission. This is the power move. You are going to reassure him that he is your number one, but you are not going to apologize for being a desirable woman. In fact, you are going to use his jealousy to anchor his attraction to you. Here is how you do it. Use VES, the room anchor, when you feel him go quiet or you see him shadowing. You do not ask what's wrong. Instead, simply break the physical barrier. Walk over to him, slip your hand into his, lean into his shoulder and whisper something that excludes everyone else. Say, I'm having fun, but I can't wait to get out of here and go home with you. Or simply, you look better than every other guy in this room. That's it. You don't acknowledge the other men. You don't apologize for talking to them. You simply remind him of the reality. He is the one going home with you. This bypasses his logic and soothes his primal brain. It tells him the threat is not real. You have already won positive reinforcement of the peacock. If he is acting competitive, if he's dressing better or trying to be funny to outshine a rival, reward him for it. Don't roll your eyes at his attempt to show off. Validate it. You are so funny tonight, babe. I love how your arms look in that shirt. Feed the behavior you want. Let him know that when he steps up, it works. This transforms his jealousy from a negative, brooding emotion into a positive drive to be a better partner. Open door policy. If he interrogates you, who was that guy? Answer calmly and briefly. Do not get defensive. Defensiveness looks like guilt. Calmness looks like innocence. Oh, that's Mark. He works in accounting. He's nice, but a bit much sometimes. Then immediately pivot back to him. Anyway, I was thinking about what you said earlier. By answering casually and moving on, you signal that the rival is insignificant. If you make a big deal out of explaining it, you make the rival seem important. The mindset shift finally. Realize that his jealousy is not a burden. It is a compliment wrapped in sandpaper. It's rough, it's uncomfortable, but at its core, it is a reminder that you are a prize. A man who is never jealous is a man who thinks he can't lose you. A little bit of fear is healthy. It keeps the spark alive. It keeps him casing you. You don't want to eliminate his jealousy completely. You want to manage it. You want to take that fiery energy and direct it toward passion, not arguments. So the next time he gets quiet or throws a sarcastic joke or tries to act too cool, don't be annoyed. Smile internally, recognize the sign, and then with all the confidence of a woman who knows her worth, pull him close and remind him that while other men might look, he is the only one who gets to touch. That is how you turn his insecurity into intimacy. That is how you win. The final reframe as love versus possession. We have covered a lot of ground today. We have walked through the silence of the car ride, the tension of the party, and the subtle movements of his eyes. We have peeled back the layers of stoic mask to reveal the human being underneath. And I want to leave you with one final thought, a reframe that will change how you view your relationship forever. In our modern world, we are often told that jealousy is a bad emotion. We are told that a healthy partner should be 100% secure 100% of the time. We are told that if he gets jealous, he is toxic or controlling or insecure. And yes, there is a line. If his jealousy stops you from living your life, if it makes you afraid, or if it controls you, that is not love, that is possession, and you should walk away. But the hidden jealousy we have talked about today, the quiet pulling away, the sudden need to be close to you, the frantic self-improvement, that is not possession. That is fear. It is the fear of a man who knows exactly what he has and is terrified that he might not be enough to keep it. Jealousy in these small hidden doses is actually the shadow of love. You cannot have deep love without the potential for deep loss. The more he loves you, the more he has to lose. And the more he has to lose, the more his instincts will kick in to protect it. So when you see these signs, try not to see them as annoyances. Try not to see them as him being moody or difficult. See them for what they really are, evidence of your value. He is reacting to your radiance. He is reacting to the fact that you are a high-value woman who attracts attention, and he knows it. He is fighting a silent battle against his own ego because he wants to be the only man who matters to you.